All right, let's talk about Tyson Bagent, who is a player that you might be saying, who? Who's that? He is the undrafted quarterback that the Bears acquired. They signed him as an undrafted free agent. Came in relief last week when Field went down. Didn't look particularly great. Didn't look terrible either. Made a couple of nice plays, but for the most part, looked like how you would expect an undrafted free agent quarterback to look getting thrown in. So I kind of felt like, okay, well, probably not going to go too well. We'll see, how this works. Definitely, bet some money on the Raiders, right? That would be my advice prior to the game. But I would have been very wrong, as he looked really good out there and was able to kind of light up this Bears defense a little bit. Like, starting off with this play, some of it was more simple stuff, and there was some, we know the Raiders defense isn't exactly elite, and we did see some examples of, guys getting open, I should say. And whether you want to blame the Bears defense or blame the Raiders defense or credit the Bears offense, I'll let you be the judge. But, this play, give me a route over the middle against zone coverage. As you see, Bagent is going to take the snap. He eventually looks over. I do like that quick release. We'll get into that a little bit more, but really, nice release, getting the ball out of his hands very quickly. There is a receiver who is open. Bagent makes that throw, and again, not the craziest play you'll ever see. Good route by Tyler Scott on that one to get open. But at the same time, it's like, for a guy who's an undrafted free agent who, you don't really expect much of anything from, to just be able to do the simple stuff, to just be able to get to your second read and then hit the open guy, like, that's impressive on its own. So that's one thing he's doing well. It's just when there's a play available for him to get, he gets that play. But there's other stuff he's doing well. Like, for example, something like this. It's a 3rd down and 7 situation. So that's the point in the game, and also worth mentioning the play clock, 27 seconds left in the half. So that's where we're at here. You're going to see right off the bat, Bagent is going to take the snap. Again, doesn't love what he sees right away, but is going to scramble out and see if he can make something else work. Again, these are the kind of things that when you see a young quarterback doing something like this, you start to get a little worried, right? You start to say, okay, this could go maybe a little poorly. I don't know what's going to exactly happen here. Well, watch what happens. As you see, Bagent is able to get outside the pocket, makes a really nice throw while on the run. They're able to pick up a 1st down on that 3rd down situation. Didn't end up scoring on this drive anyway, but still a nice play and kind of shows what he can do. And again, the throwing motion, right? Off balance, getting that ball, such a quick release. That's good to see, and that is stuff that translates well to the NFL level. And something like this is key, because, listen, so it's going to be a zone coverage play that the Raiders are in, and one thing that's so important for a young quarterback who wasn't hyped up, coming out of the draft, wasn't drafted, is if you do not play well right away, it's going to be really tough. Like, for you to make it in the league for a long period of time, and I'm not even saying as a starter, like just as a backup, if you want to make it for a long period of time, you have to look good right away. Think about like Gardner Minshew, comes in, has a good rookie year. Because of that, he's going to be in the league for a while, right? If you come in and you don't look promising right away, you don't get the time that a star quarterback gets. Trevor Lawrence looks terrible year one, whatever. He's a hyped up prospect. We're going to give him another year. If Bagent looks terrible year one, they're going to get rid of him and find somebody else. So you have to be able to find ways to get the ball down the field, and that's what he's going to do on this play, where, again, like I said, zone coverage. Bagent is going to take the snap, and once again, doesn't love what he sees down the field. And, listen, it's hard to make an offense work if guys aren't getting open. We've seen Justin Fields fail at doing it earlier because it is really difficult to do. And we've seen Justin Fields succeed at it in previous games as well, but it's just, it's hard to do. So what is Bagent going to do? Is he going to do one of those plays where he fails, or one of those plays where it works out? Well, let's find out. First, watch him be able to step up in the pocket, even fakes a little throw, which is always fun, but there still is a Raiders player who's ready to come up and try and make a tackle. However, watch Bagent be able to get around him, and he does find a way to pick up the 1st down. His legs were a legitimate part of his game in this one. He's not Justin Fields out there, right? But it still was a legitimate part of his game, and that's cool to see. So, again, that's something that you look at and say, well, that could keep you in the league for a while. That could keep you in the league for long enough to where you can develop as a passer, develop as just a quarterback in general, and hopefully get, some significant playing time and eventually be able to grow as a player, all that good stuff. However, to be clear, I did think that I legitimately felt like when watching him play, he was about as polished as a passer as you could hope for a young player, where what's going to happen is this one, it's just a fade route in the end zone to DJ Moore. We've seen it a million times, and we all know how it works. Bagent is going to take the snap. He is going to look in that direction. He fires in that direction, and there's a bit of a window here, but not a big one. And that's the thing, is can you make these tough throws? Any quarterback, well, I shouldn't say any quarterback, but a lot of quarterbacks can make the easy throws. But can you make forget about even like the impossible Patrick Mahomes throws, just like the tough throws? Well, as you see, this one is right on the money, ends up getting knocked away. Good defense, but really good throw from Bagent to get it over the cornerback and get it to DJ Moore, giving DJ Moore a chance there. That's good stuff from Bagent, even if it didn't work out. Again, we're evaluating the player, not the outcome. And even something like this, which, again, an important part in this football game. I mean, it's still a 15-point game. I know 21-6 feels like it's over, but 2-score game with 10 minutes left. The game is not over. We've seen crazy things happen involving Chicago this season. So, make sure you keep your foot on the gas here. This is going to be a zone coverage play. You have, 2 receivers to the offense's left. One's going to run a deeper route. The other's going to run, quick route towards the sideline. That's the route you want to look at. Because as you see, well, I would actually say the Raiders kind of did this nicely. They played this well. You're still giving your receiver an extra step. You're getting someone a bit out of position with this concept. Bagent is, currently, I would say a bit off balance because he was in motion a little bit towards the bottom of the screen. So you're going to have to throw a bit off balance, which clearly hasn't been an issue for him. And watch him, while off balance, throw a strike. They pick up a first down on that 3rd down and 5. Big play in that football game. Every time they needed a play from Bagent, he was able to do it. So really good stuff. And again, how do we view him as a player? He's still very unknown, right? Came from Division 2, didn't even play in Division 1. So, very unknown. Part of why he was undrafted, but was able to find a way to get himself some playing time due to an injury, which, hey, sometimes you get a break. And as of right now, I think he played well. I do. I think he had a good football game. And, while it's certainly something where, as a prospect, you can't get super excited about an undrafted free agent, I get it. At the same time, it is kind of one of those things where, hey, look at Brock Purdy. We weren't super excited about him. He was able to make it work. So, there definitely are some positives to take away here, and for Bagent, he was, I thought he was really good. So yeah, we'll see what he can do in the future, but for now, exciting time. Again, I don't know if it's exciting times if you're a Bears fan, because I don't know how much you care about it, because, who knows? But hey, if he can put a couple of these together, who knows what'll happen. At the very least, a fun game if you're a Bears fan, and very fun if you're Tyson Bagent. That's what I think. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.